Welcome to VidZet, your home for careful consideration of our common concerns. I'm Dr. Ted Noel. This week, Michelangelo Signorile wrote a piece for the Huffington Post titled F Civility. In it, he called for Democrats to shut down the streets. The left should continually confront Trump officials whenever they can be found, including running them out of restaurants the way Sarah Sanders was run out of a Mexican restaurant while just trying to have a peaceful family dinner. What did he think of prior Democrat actions? Quote, Democrats and Obama personified civility, close quote. So it must have been a civil act when a Sandinista shot up a baseball practice and nearly killed Steve Scalise. It must have been a civil act when Democrats burned a limousine during protests at President Trump's inauguration. The Supreme Court properly examined the law and the Constitution upholding Trump's travel ban. This action was reviewed favorably even by left-wing legal scholars. Yet, in Signorile's alleged mind, this was a stinging, bigoted blow to justice and equality. Notice I said alleged mind, because his comment is nothing more than a primal scream. There was no thought process involved. Another Supreme Court decision upholding the right of crisis pregnancy centers to not advertise abortion facilities is a anti-abortion ruling. In fact, it was a free speech ruling where abortion was not at issue. I could go on, but it's clear that Signorile exemplifies much of the left. They are simply incapable of rational thought. All they can do is scream. Indeed, one such group gathered to scream through their vaginas at Trump. You can't make this stuff up. And as the key question asks, how's that working out for you? One more quote clearly lays out where the left is at the moment. Many Democrats and many in the media are still living in an alternate universe where decorum will somehow save the day. Curious. Our American Revolution came about when a critical mass of people took up arms against an oppressive foreign power. But there's no oppression of the left. They are simply losing political battles. No one is running around stripping anyone of their rights. Medicaid is not a right, and neither is food stamps. If Planned Parenthood loses its federal money, the government will not force them to close. And Trump is not putting children in prison camps. Where will this go? The primary in New York's 14th Congressional District offers us some guidance. This hard left district threw out a 10-term member of congressional leadership. Part of it was due to him simply ignoring a photogenic newcomer since it was his seat. But part was also due to the Democrat Party moving into that alternate universe Signorile mentioned. Alternate universes are a science fiction construct where much is the same in this one and in that one, but they never touch each other. Since Signorile, who exemplifies the hard left, thinks that civility is an alternate universe, he's saying that he's in an alternate universe from civil society. Think about it. What does this mean for the midterm elections? It's obvious that the loony left is cranked up to full scream mode. There's only so much any person can hear. For example, when CNN's Brian Stelter tried to blame the Maryland newspaper shooting on Donald Trump, we tune him out. His statement is obviously nuts. When Signorile says that Trump is putting children in prison camps, we tune him out. The left and their echo chamber in the media have cried wolf so many times that we aren't able to hear them anymore. Surveys have noted that the public is disregarding the legacy media, but this just makes them scream louder. They can't seem to realize that we have already left the room and closed the door. We're tired of their yelling and want to go somewhere peaceful. We have more important things to do. There's been a lot of noise in the press about a blue wave in the coming midterm elections, but the generic ballot surveys have recently swung to a dead heat. And since Republicans historically outperform the generic numbers by about 3 points, that's actually a red tsunami waiting to happen. Public approval of Donald Trump is higher than it was for Barack Obama at the same point in his presidency. Economic sentiment is positive, employment is up, and wages are rising. Since people tend to vote their wallets, things look pretty good for Republicans. What are Democrats going to do? They are obstinately convinced of the superiority of their opinions and prejudiced against those who hold different ones. In short, they are bigots. Starting from that position is a guaranteed loser. Retail politics is very much like retail sales. You do best in a warm market. In politics, that's your base. But you can't stop there. Your base just isn't enough to get you over 50%. So you have to find a way to get some of the middle over to your side. But the middle is reasonably happy with the way things are going, and that number's getting better. So you have to find a way to change their opinion. Yelling at them is the worst way to change someone's opinion. When you say that we are bigots, fascists, or Nazis, you just stopped all conversation. We know we aren't any of those things, and your yelling won't change it. It doesn't matter what you say after that because we've stopped listening. And you made that happen. Democrats who carefully engage in the realm of ideas have a chance to actually persuade voters. But Democrats like Maxine Waters show the rest of us how insane you are. Why would we want you anywhere near the levers of power? Are we crazy? The loud lunatic fringe of the Democrat Party is making the rest of the Democrats look worse than they already are. The election in New York 14 looks like the Democrats are swinging further in that direction. And the further the Democrats swing, the harder it will be for them to get out of their alternate universe into the real world to make contact with voters. That's good for Republicans. It's not helpful for Democrat thought leaders to suggest that we are lying through our teeth when we disagree with them. We aren't stripping millions of their rights. We're tired of you telling us what to believe and then belittling us when we disagree. We'll vote for people who actually live in our world. And by the way, you aren't one of them. Don't be surprised if there's a red tsunami. Please like VidZ on Facebook, follow @VidZ on Twitter, and support VidZ through Patreon and our web store. Until next time, I'm Dr. Ted Noel. Thanks for watching.